Okay, it's 9:54 a.m. I did add something new to this little order entry thing. I added now two of these so I can have two stocks if I'm looking at two setups. Because this one actually made me miss a setup because I was looking between this one BPTS and also ELYS for a setup, and this one just did the setup and it did it very quickly, and I just wasn't able to be a part of it. I was watching it right here. I did trade this one, and let's go over it. I did buy 100 shares at 934, which was right here, and this was at 77.7. So right around here is when I entered. And why? Well, it has a nice gap up. Not the best chart because it does kind of show that it can do stuff where it just has like a little gap and it just sells off, and it's done that a few times here, so it's not really something too ideal, but it still has the potential for a short squeeze. And I was in it for that reason when it had this downtrend, and then it was already breaking past this downtrending trend line that I drew. So I thought it could be something where it just has like a little bit of a sell off, finds a bottom somewhere, especially when it was trading around this 75, 76 level and it was holding it. And then it could ideally make a move towards VWAP, and if it's super nice, it gets above VWAP, tries to day high, which would be right here, not this pre-market action, and then it could continue to be super profitable. And I was in it for, again, that reason right there, and it did try to make an uptrend, and it really seems like it wasn't going to work, but I decided to do the thing where I'm not going to sell everything if it's between whether if it's between working and not working, because I don't want to, oh, I don't like the price action, let me cut like half. And then it works out, and then I only have like half of my position to sell. If it's just going to fail, it's going to fail. So, with that in mind, I did get out 937 once it was breaking this range right here, roughly, and that was at what price was it? It was at 74.82. So right around here is when I got out. Once it was starting to break below this range right here, and it did downtrend some more. I had an interest when it did break below 70. It got to the 60s very briefly, but then it started to trade above 70 and maybe it could hold. But then I got really interested once I saw that it was bottoming here because it looks like a higher low off of this level. And then I had an interest of getting in maybe at 73. Worst case scenario, breaks 70. I'm out $3. Boohoo. And yeah, it just started to work very quickly. And I was looking at that time ELYS. So unfortunately, I missed out for that reason. I did try here. And it did eventually make a move. Although it doesn't look like it anymore, it did get to VWAP, and that would have been profitable. An entry at 73 and a sell at 80, I guess, would have been $7, but that's almost my entire risk level, so I think that's good. And now I don't really, want to trade it anymore. There isn't anything I want to do with it. I don't see anything super obvious besides just higher lows playing out. Maybe if it can continue the uptrend and hold a bunch of higher lows and maybe regain itself above VWAP, maybe it can try to do more. But for right now, that's what I was interested in. At least the setup was there. I just got annoyed because, I have this order entry, and then, I switched to another stock because I'm looking at another setup. So then for me to have to go back and then type the other stock and then put everything here below, it's just too late. So now I have two of these. I did have two of these when I first started trading, which while back when you were still able to trade OTCs without commissions. And I confused myself, but I'm gonna see if I can be able to do something better this time and not get confused. Maybe I can still reorganize this. Maybe not have three tabs that says order, just to play it super dumb, super safe. And as for ELYS, this one, yeah, this one had a gap down. This one sucks. It had a hole. I was watching it for another one of those stocks that hold above VWAP, and then it could try to make a move towards the day high. But I didn't like the way this one was trading too much, and I should have been in maybe at like 136 once it was breaking this range around 135. And it did get to the 140s. It wasn't horrible. It didn't break the day high, but the setup was there. But again, I was like back and forth between this one and BPTS. So I think now this can help me do better, or at least, have two order entries. So if I'm looking at two setups, one on each screen, I can be able to jump to either one that starts to work and not miss out on both. And yeah, this one just sold off. Really unfortunate. This one got halted, I think, a little too easily. and now it's selling off. I was also looking at it for like a head and shoulders. The shoulder that had, and then maybe a sell off, and then it finds a bottom at VWAP, and then it uptrends, and I can sell it to the shoulder. But yeah, I got halted. That's it for right now. I didn't lose too much. I lost, yeah, just under $3, and the potential was there. It could have been profitable. Again, it did offer this higher low here, and I'll make an update later. I think this is gonna help me do better. Okay, it's 11:23 p.m. I'm here to call it off. Overall, I'm going to be down on the day $2.93, just that one trade with BPTS, and I could have been profitable with it. I just was not able to go long because I was watching this one and that other stock, and I have this now, so that maybe in theory I can be able to prevent this from happening. That I have two, and they're named differently, so I don't get confused. And the moments, and yeah, I had an opportunity. It eventually worked out, and that it got to VWAP, but the dip and rip setup didn't work out because that's something that has to be quick. This was like a gradual drop. I do like how it dropped pretty close to the 70 level. Although if I remember, I thought I got below 70 into the 60s, and then it immediately came back. That could have been an entry right here at the 72 level, or the higher low right here. And let's just see what would have happened if I was in maybe at 74.25, and then I sold at 80. I guess that would have been like $6. Yeah, that would have been about $6. So the opportunity was there. Again, I just tried it right here for an ideal quick move, and it didn't work out. And yeah, I think I might increase my dollar risk level to $20. I want to see how tomorrow goes, and then probably Monday being the next week. The markets are very crazy and hot right now, and I'm worried that, I size up, and then the markets are no longer as good, and then I start losing a bunch of money with a $20 risk level. So I think I'm going to trade tomorrow with a $10 risk level, and then Monday. And if it seems like things are continuing or about the same, just not getting much worse, something bad happens or whatever, and the setups aren't as nice, I'm going to move to a $20 risk level after having this loss right here that wasn't like huge or anything, especially because I did have a potential to have that setup work out and turn around and be profitable. And yeah, I was looking at ELYS. I don't really remember what I was looking at anymore with the way this chart looked, but I think it was just a move once it got above VWAP. I totally forgot, to be honest. There's just a lot of setups right now. GTII is going to make a very nice morning panic bounce play, I hope, at some point. Who knows how long it's going to continue? It's up to the people behind the stock. And this one could also be an ideal morning panic bounce play. Again, hopefully these things actually bounce. I've been a little iffy with OTCs because a lot of these, when they sell off and they're supposed to be dip buy setups, they just keep selling off. So that's it for today. Great lesson there, and hopefully I can prevent that issue now that I have this right here with two potential order entries.